Hello everyone. In this video I will show you what an equivalent fraction is and how to find an equivalent fraction if you're given one. I have here an example. So an equivalent fraction is equal to another fraction. So basically if you have, for example, this 4 over 6 is the same as 8 over 2. It's basically a multiple of it. Basically these two numbers, the numerator and the denominator, they are multiplied by a number, and that will give you an equivalent fraction, even though they look different, but they are the same. So another way of checking this is if you divide it in a calculator, say 4 divided by 6 is the same as 8 divided by 12 is the same as 12 divided by 18. So an equivalent fraction is basically a multiple of another fraction, a multiple of the same fraction. So we have 4 over 6. In here we have 6 is multiplied by a number to give us 12. So basically 6 is multiplied by 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 4 is 8. So this numerator and denominator is multiplied by the same number. So another way of looking at it is I have this figure, okay? So if you have a square and if you divide it into 6 parts, right? Remember, a fraction is part of something or a whole or a complete thing. So we have this whole thing, it's divided into 6 parts, only 4 parts is shaded, okay? Now I've drew the same figure and the same size, so they are basically the same thing, exactly the same size. But look at here, now we have divided it into 12 pieces, okay? But if you look at it, they are the same part is taken. So the same part, if you measure it with something, right? If you measure it with something, the same part is taken here, here, and here. So in here, but because we divided into lots of parts, okay, but we are taking the exact same amount. So here we divided into 12 parts, but we have taken 8 parts. That's why 4 over 6 is the same as 8 over 6, because you can see it from the picture, okay, from this figure. And the same thing, now we divided into further, we divided into 18 parts, okay? This has 18 parts. We have taken only 12 parts. So one way of finding an equivalent fraction is, let's say if someone gives you one, you just draw the same figure. First draw this 4 over 6, then draw another one just underneath it and divide it into several parts, but make sure that these parts match, okay? These parts, they have to match. So that's one way of finding it from the picture. If you don't want to do that, just multiply it. So this 4 times 2, it has to be the same number, 6 times 2. So they are both multiplied by 2 to give us 8. Okay, 2 times 6 is 12. So we have 8 over 12. The same number, you just multiply it and then you write it as a fraction. I will show you, we have a few examples here. We'll go over it and hopefully you will see how to do it yourself. So here it says complete the equivalent fractions. So we have 4 over 5. Now what is the equivalent fraction of it? They already give us this part, but even if they are not, what you can do is just pick a number, any number, just pick, let's say 3. You multiply the bottom times 3, the denominator times 3, the numerator times 3, and you write them here. So this times 3 is 12. Now we have to multiply the denominator times the same number, so 5 times 3 is 15. But here they have given us already the denominator, we have to find the numerator. It's easy. So we have to 5 is multiplied by what number to give us 10? It's multiplied times 2. Okay? 5 times 2 is equal to 10. Therefore, we have to multiply 4 times 2 as well. 4 times 2 is 8. Okay, 4 times 2. The same thing here. Now, if you don't know this, what you can do is draw something. Draw a rectangle. That's the easiest one. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now draw another one with the same size. Okay, now it says it has to be divided into 10 parts. So you divide it into 10 parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The same thing, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here it says 4 parts is taken. So this part, this part, this part, this part is taken. Now the same thing here. We draw a line. Let's say these lines match. You take it, all of them, and then you see that it's 10, right? Because it has 10 pieces. How many parts is shaded? 8 parts. That's how you find the number 8. Because we drew this exactly the same shape, the same size, therefore it's easy to find it. So if you have a ruler, it's easier. But if you don't want to do it this way, just multiply it, or find what this number is multiplied to get 10, and then multiply 4 by that too. So in this one, we know that 3 times 2 is 6. Therefore, this has to be multiplied by 2 as well. 2 times 2 is 4. That's the equivalent fraction. So this is the equivalent of this one. That's what it means. So these two are the same. When you have equal sign, it means they are the same thing. Whichever you pick, you still get the same thing. If you have a pizza, someone divides it into 3 pieces and you take 2 pieces, that's the same thing as taking the same size pizza, dividing it into 6 pieces and taking 4 pieces. It's just the same thing. Now we go over here. We have 1 over 3. Okay, so what 3 is multiplied by what number to give us 9? 3 is multiplied by 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Therefore, we have to multiply the numerator by the same number. 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so you can do this using a figure, or you can do this multiplication, but this is the easiest. If you don't know how to find this, another way is just taking 9, dividing it by 3. So you have 9 divided by 3, and you do it like this. How many times 3 goes into 9? 3 times. Nothing remaining, so therefore the multiplication factor is 3. You have to multiply the numerator by the same number. Now 4, you have 1 over 4 is equal to what? We are already given 8 in the denominator. So 4 times what number gives us 8? 4 times 2 equals 8. Now we have to multiply the numerator by the same number. 1 times 2 is 2. Remember, there are almost infinite. There is just infinite equivalent fractions to each one of these. Another one could be multiply 2 by, let's say, 5. 5 times 2 times 5 is 10. Then we have to multiply the denominator by the same number. 3 times 5 is 15. Okay, so hope you enjoyed this video, and I will post some links for you to practice and do some further reading. If you still need help, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.